My father-in-law's 2009 Matrix is in rough shape. This time, watch me transform it for $200. So my father-in-law is out of town in Key West right now, so I just snuck over here to his house. I'm gonna steal his car and surprise him with a budget transformation on it before he gets home. So one of the things I know my father-in-law wants in the car here is a new stereo. So we're going to do a new head unit with a backup camera. Normally you'd use a trim tool for this, but because it's already broken, it comes off there a lot easier. Now that the bezel's out of the way, it's just a matter of unbolting the old radio and pulling that out. And here's the new one. All the wires and hardware and everything there. So this is just one of the 7-inch CarPlay singled-in radios. So this was like $95 with the coupon. But that should be a good size for in there. Doesn't look like they put the backup camera in here. This is supposed to have a backup camera included with it, but don't see one. So I think I've got an extra camera laying around here, so that shouldn't be a big deal. I've got the new radio head unit all mounted in the frame here to go back into the dash. Got the wiring all taken care of for the adapters for the stock harness here, and then the new head unit. And then in addition to that, I've got the cables for the backup camera run through the dash here, the GPS antenna mounted, and then the cable for the microphone for the speakerphone run as well. So still need to run the cable into the back for the backup camera, and still need to mount the microphone up here somewhere. But the radio can go back in the dash now. Everything connected. I'd say that's an improvement. Okay, microphone's all installed there. So now to finish the backup camera, I just need to run the cable to the back and then mount the camera. So of course we'll pull the plastic panels here, pull the carpet back a little bit, and run the cable through here. So while I'm in here running the cable for the backup camera, I've also got some of this leftover insulation from another project, some butyl and some closed cell foam. Whoops. So I'm going to go ahead and, while this is pulled back, throw some of this down here as well, and that will make the car a little quieter and a little nicer for him. Well, I was making progress. So yeah, I may have gotten a little carried away with the sound deadening. Driver's seat's out and carpet's all the way back. All done. Got a layer of butyl all over all of that, and then a big piece of closed cell foam on top of that. So that should definitely make a difference. And now this carpet's ready to get folded back over, and then I think I might try to pull it back up here in the rear before I put the seat back in as well. Anyway, let's get back to the camera. So the wire's basically all the way back here. Just need to finish fishing it up and through. And then I also need to make a connection to the backup light. Oh, and a ground, of course. Okay, well, getting that run was a little bit more of a pain than I was hoping for, but backup camera works. So just need to put the rest of the interior panels back. Alright, that's the wire for the backup camera all finished and tucked away. Forgot to tighten the nut down. Okay, after I finished tightening everything back down and getting the camera mounted, it's fully done now. So a little off center, but that's what I had to do to maintain the handle for the hatch. But that's a job done. Now that the radio and backup camera are in there, I'm going to do a quick little tune-up here with some new spark plugs and some new transmission fluid. But before I change the spark plugs out, I'm going to do everybody's favorite, a seafoam treatment here, because I don't think he's ever done one. So that should definitely clean out the intake a little bit and probably make some nice smoke. So of course the proper way to do this is to let it warm up a little bit first and then put the seafoam in. And then while that seafoam sits in there, I'm going to go ahead and jack it up here to change the transmission fluid. Oh, it looks pretty clean. Alright, refilled and plugged back in, so transmission fluid's done. Now it's time for the new spark plugs, but before we do that, let's go ahead and drop it down and fire it up and see what that seafoam did. Yeah, I'd say that did some cleaning. Now that the seafoam is done, I can go ahead and throw these new spark plugs in here as well. Spark plugs are done. And here are the old plugs. So these were definitely due. The electrodes are getting kind of worn down there, and this gap is bigger than it should be. So the other three look okay. So between that seafoam treatment and those new plugs, it should definitely run a little bit smoother. Well, to keep going on that insulation, I went ahead and popped the bottom of the back seat out and pulled the front passenger seat out as well. So now it's just wide open in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish putting the butyl down, and then we'll put the interior back in here. Okay, ready to go back together. Although this may have blown the $200 budget for the insulation, but I think he might notice it's a little bit quieter in here now. Alright, let's put it all back. So while I've got these seats out, and because it doesn't cost anything, I'm going to go ahead and shampoo and extract these real quick and clean these up before I put them back in the car. Okay, interior is all reinstalled here. One other little repair to finish off the interior is the cruise control stalk is broken. So got a new one and going to throw that in here. That requires popping the airbag out. And then that switch is those two screws right there. And done. Good as new. So the last thing I want to do here is buff and polish the paint and really make it shine. So of course the first step there is giving it a wash. Now to clean up the paint, I'm going to use a DA polisher and some Meguiar's Ultra Cut compound to start. And of course I've got to tape it off so you can see the dramatic difference side by side. So do that first. Alright, so after the buffing compound, now we're going to use some finishing compound to polish it. And a polishing pad, of course. So I'm going to follow the polish with some show car glaze and then some wax after that, and that will be the last step. Okay, let's take this tape off. Can you see that line? So now the only bad part is I have to do the rest of the car. So yeah, it runs and shifts pretty good now. So just to recap everything we've done on the Matrix in this video, the new stereo was $95. New oil for the transmission came in at just about $50. New spark plugs were $35. The new cruise control stock was $18. So the total for all that comes in at $198. So that met the $200 budget. Of course, I did use like 3/4 of a box of Butyl sound mat, so that definitely did push us up over the $200 mark. That was probably $40 or $50 worth of Butyl sound installation. And then of course all of the detailing supplies that I had at home to begin with. So what do you guys think? Was that a good transformation? Leave a comment down below and let me know what you think the biggest improvement was. If you like transformations like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Click that notification bell so that you don't miss my next video. Like this video if you did. Make sure you check out vehiclegarage.com in between videos for more content. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.